It may seem unimaginable in 2024, but there was a time in the not too distant past when Marvel wasn't the cultural juggernaut we know today, when Black Panther, Ant-Man and Doctor Strange were considered merely B-list, if not C-list characters, when Wakanda Forever, Avengers Assemble or even I Could Do This All Day meant absolutely nothing to the average person, and Cinema Public would garner you but would glances, and increased personal space. When the future looked so bleak for Earth's mightiest heroes that Marvel actually forced to file for bankruptcy, everything changed with the 2008 release of Robert Downey Jr.'s critically acclaimed and hugely popular first outing of Iron Man. It seems impossible to imagine anyone else playing that part now, but executives were initially resistant to Downey Jr.'s casting, forcing director Jon Favreau to play dirty by leaking to the press that the formerly troubled actor was in talks to take the role. The positive press and fan reception of the news forced Marvel's hand, and the rest is history. The film laid the first stone in the path of an almost unprecedented resurgence for a once beleaguered company, bringing Marvel to an astonishing current valuation of nearly £50 billion. Alongside movies and its roots in the comic books, Marvel has ventured onto every kind of merchandise you can imagine. And one of the most perennially popular is the Marvel Legends figure line. Initially produced in 2002 and produced by Canadian manufacturer Toybiz, the first release of the 6-inch plastic figures featured only 5 characters, including the future Marvel Cinematic Universe favourites Captain America, Hulk and Iron Man. Alongside the lesser known villains Toad, each of the characters was sold in plastic clamshell packaging and bundled with accessories, including a Stark Industries sign for Iron Man, or an appropriately destroyed wall stand for Hulk. If you want to start your Marvel Legends collection at the very beginning, you can pick up these characters at surprisingly reasonable prices. Original new in-box Iron Man can be bought for less than £50 on eBay, while the somewhat rarer Toad can be found about £75. New in box, or if you're willing to forego the packaging and accessories, the good conditioning unboxed figure can set you about £30. Toybiz produced a 16 series of Marvel Legends between 2002 and 2007, including renditions of many fan favourites like Wolverine, Thor and Magneto. One particular sought after set from the 2004, that's now worth between £200 and £300, features Spider-Man squaring up to a cabal of his arch enemies known as the Sinister Six, and comprising iconic villains like the metal tentacled mad scientist Dr. Octopus, the alien symbiote Venom, and the big game hunter Kraven. Marvel Legends largely redefined the articulation that collectors would expect from their action figures, with wrist, knee and ankle joints as standard, with some characters even boasting finger articulation. This attention to detail and high production value is beautifully showcased in this set, with Spider-Man alone boasting a whopping 45 different points of articulation, offering a huge diversity of professional poses. Marvel Legends are a joy for anyone who wants to recreate their favourite movie or comic book scene. Hasbro took over the Marvel Legends license in 2007 and made several changes to the Toybiz original offering. Gone with the finger articulation and the comic book that had previously been bundled with each figure. Hasbro did, however, retain one popular feature that is still a mainstay of Marvel Legends today, the Build-A-Figure piece. Often known to collectors as BAF, Build-A-Figure is a clever concept that includes a single part of a different figure in each character sold, meaning that you can only obtain this unique extra figure by purchasing each of the toys released in that series and assembling the parts, therefore encouraging collectors to buy the entire wave. It also enabled the manufacturer to produce much larger and sometimes heavier toys that wouldn't fit in the line's packaging, as created them piece by piece neatly sidesteps that issue. The first ever Build-A-Figure released in 2005 was Galactus, an enormous eater of worlds. Previously a mortal humanoid known as Galan, Galactus got caught up in the ending of his original universe, but rather than expiring, he emerged as an entity wielding so much power that the only way to sustain himself was devouring entire planets. Like every truly great villain, and in stark rebuttal to those who claim comic books are just for kids. Galactus was a nuanced entity rather than a simple evil for evil's sake. His characterization and storylines explored different questions about power, destiny and destruction. Standing at towering 16 inches and sporting his iconic helmet, this Galactus figure dwarfs the standard 6-inch characters. As Build-A-Figure toys never had their own packaging, it means that there's no such thing as a new in-box character and valuations can vary. A good condition Galactus sells between £50 and £100. Other coveted Build-A-Figure toys include Hasbro's 2008 release of the alien Fin Fang Foom, a shape-shifting enemy of Iron Man who generally appears as an enormous green dragon. Supporting the attention to detail characterization of Marvel engines and the increased size allowed by the Build-A-Figure format, a complete Fin Fang Foom could net you around £300. The heaviest Build-A-Figure ever released is likely 2015's Hulkbuster from the Avengers second outing Age of Ultron, which is now worth around £70. Constructed by Tony Stark as a massive version of his Iron Man armour, the Hulkbuster was designed to be large and powerful enough to subdue an out-of-control Hulk, should it ever be needed, and appropriately, the assembled figure was so large that it also had to be broken up into multiple pieces so it could fit into the packaging. The 2018 launch of Hasbro's crowdfunding company, HasLab, gave collectors a new way to acquire expensive and niche Marvel legends that otherwise would likely never be made. HasLab works much like the well-known Kickstarter by giving collectors a chance to back projects up front. Potential future figures are put up for consideration, and once one of these toys gains enough financial backers, it is put into a limited production run for those who are committed to buy it. Like Kickstarter, HasLab features various tiers that unlock new features when more backers commit, including details like alternative head sculpts and new accessories. HasLab creations are often much larger and more expensive than most Marvel Legends figures, often costing hundreds of pounds. In stark contrast to those you can buy on the high street, which currently retail about £20 to £25. With that high price tag, however, comes incredible detail, and many of the most valuable Marvel Legends are HasLab creations. In 2021, HasLab crowdfunded an enormous 26-inch version of the X-Men's enemy, Sentinel. That initially cost £280, but could now be worth double that or more. 2022 saw a new version of Galactus standing a huge 32 inches and featuring over 70 points of articulation, with 20 in each hand alone. Whilst it costs a not insignificant £320 up front, it will now reach around £400 online and will likely only appreciate. If you're serious about your collecting and the safety of our planet for the oncoming multiversal war, then these figures could provide a legendary investment.